G'day, Nas Campenalla with a Triple J News update.
Today we're hanging out with former Loyola High School student and now Triple J newsreader, up-and-coming star, or really is a star, Nas Campenalla. Hey Nas, thanks so much for letting us come and hang out in your Triple J studio.
No worries.
Now, being a newsreader, I mean, must be pretty challenging. You're going out there chasing stories, you're writing them and then you're presenting them, but you have a whole different challenge on top of your workload. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so I'm totally blind. I lost my sight when I was 6 months old when blood vessels burst in the back of my eyes, tearing the retinas away. And I had a few surgeries to try and restore the sight, but it never happened. So I've been left with the ability to see some light and shadows.
Did that make going through primary school and high school challenging for you?
There were a few challenges because of my vision loss throughout primary school and high school. So I had two really great teachers' aides who really helped me with revising over essays and gathering notes to study and making sure that I had work in alternative formats so that I was able to access the same texts and materials like everybody else did, except just in a way that was more accessible to me, like through speech software and having things put in electronic text rather than reading a textbook.
When you were going through high school and primary school, was there anyone that you really looked up to and admired?
Look, from a really early age, I wanted to work for the ABC, and that kind of stemmed from a few things. Obviously, being a child and kind of growing up with ABC Kids, you know, Sesame Street, Play School, all the rest of those kind of programs. And then as I got a bit older and you know, wanted to learn a few more things about the world around me, I sort of took a shining to, you know, my dad often watching Four Corners and Foreign Correspondents, so I often got to see or listen to the amazing work done by all of the foreign correspondents here, who I now get to bump into in the corridors. So a few of them, Sally Sarah, Ginny Stein, Ben Knight, a lot of those guys are people I used to sort of listen to or watch on the radio and telly and things like that.
What does it mean to you? I mean, talking to a lot of people who are younger, they do look up to you. What does it mean for you to be considered, you know, a role model?
I never sought to be a role model. I just wanted to do my job to the best of my abilities and do it, you know, the way that everyone else would expect anyone else to do this job. And you know, if people are finding sort of inspiration or learning from my experience or finding sort of motivation or a lesson out of it, then I'm really, really happy that that's the case.
What advice would you give to high school students who come across challenges throughout their schooling?
High school's challenging for anyone, but I think the thing that really helped me was being able to ask for help and being able to find some people that you really trusted, and you know, whether it be teachers or the principal or a counsellor at school, I think that's really important.
Now, just explain to us, I mean, there's a lot of buttons here. Explain to us how you actually use the desk and put your news bulletins to air.
Okay, so the first thing that I do is look at our system called The Wire and basically go through that and go through all the different stories that have come in from our journalists across the country and the regions in Australia, and then also the journalists that file to us from the various bureaus that we have across the world. So it's about picking the right stories for my audience and then rewriting them and putting them into a little section which is called a queue. And then when I'm in the studio here, I have speech software that's loaded onto this computer in front of me. And so I can actually put these headphones on and listen to that voice read what I've written for the bulletin. And so I listen and I repeat what I hear at the same time. And it's not just that little robotic voice. Of course, that's the most important thing I hear during the bulletins, but there are actually 4 different streams of audio. So I hear the little voice telling me what to say. I can hear the little bits of audio that I have to play throughout the bulletin. I can then hear myself through the microphone. And then the last one, and also probably second most important, is the clock. And that counts me down so I know exactly when to start the bulletin and exactly when to finish it.
Nas Campenalla, it's been so great. Thank you so much for letting us come in today and hang out in the Triple J studio.
No problem, anytime.